Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. This is the start of a brand new series I am calling Prototype to Powerhouse. This is basically where I take one deck throughout the entire year of 2025. I'm going to track all of my stats from opening hands to the MVP card of the game, if there is one that kind of stands out. Also keep track of my pod compositions that I'm playing in and kind of how the games go and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the deck and then the two games that I happened to play yesterday. So on screen you will see the Mox Field page for the deck. It's a pretty standard Light Paws, Voltron deck. You're gonna play Light Paws, get a bunch of auras out that will find you more and more auras as the game goes on, and really you just have to be careful about sacrifice effects or the -X effects like Toxic Deluge kind of stuff is really the only thing to be worried about once you have your auras out. Everything else can either give protection or indestructible outright, or something that brings it back, or just make it really big and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty standard list in that regard. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I will put the deck list in the description as well if you want to go see it. But by the time this video goes up, I will have made a couple of modifications as well, since the other thing I am doing is basically week by week swapping certain cards in and out depending on how the games go and what might work a little bit better than what I have already. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into game number 1. Game 1, my opening hand was 3 Plains, a Swords to Plowshares, Wall of Omens, Unquestioned Authority, and Hourglass of the Lost. Kind of slow to start, to be honest, but it did allow us to get Light Paws out on 2, Unquestioned Authority on 3, which found me, I believe, Daybreak Coronet afterwards, and just started kind of beating face. I was only in a 3-pod this first game. It was me, my friend Joe on Harbin Vanguard Aviator, and another friend of mine on Gerard Golgari Lichlord. So that game probably only lasted maybe 5 or 6 turns. It was pretty easy to get going. Joe had a Cyclonic Rift, which kind of put a dent in things, but I had, I believe, 17 commander damage on him at the time. Yeah, so he does the Psych Rift, I scoop everything up, put it in my hand, except for my lands. Then my next turn rolls around, I'm still sitting at a comfortable 50-something life, so I replay my Light Paws, I replay All That Glitters, I play a couple other auras to just make it even bigger, and I proceed to knock him out and win the game through commander damage on both of them, which was a pretty solid start. So yeah, game 1 was a win. The MVP I would give to All That Glitters just because of the massive amount of buff that it can give for 2 mana, and a single card is kind of bonkers. Game number 2 did result in a loss. I kind of got aggressive early, but had nothing really to back it up with, so I got knocked out pretty quickly after that. This pod consisted of me on Light Paws, Joe on Liesa, my friend Zach on Ur-Dragon, and another friend on Samut, Voice of Dissent. This game 2 opener was significantly slower. Had Flawless Maneuver, Lost Oromancers, Mantle of the Ancients, Benevolent Blessing, 2 Plains, and Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Figured I might be able to get something going with the Benevolent Blessing and that kind of thing, which I actually was able to. I actually ended up drawing into Angelic Destiny, which was the MVP of this game because it was really the only big thing that I ended up doing. So that one also tutored me into the Unquestioned Authority that I needed to give it the protection from creatures. I hit somebody for like 10 and then did nothing the rest of the game because I got totally blown out, and they kind of focused on each other after that. But ended up losing that one very quickly, just due to having not a lot of other options to kind of back it up, other than just swinging when I could. So yeah, that was pretty much it for game 2, and that was it for the game night yesterday. I did make some changes. You'll see in the deck list, I took out Sun Titan and Lost Oromancers in favor of Ethereal Armor, as well as Sheltered by Ghosts. I picked those up yesterday and made those swaps pretty easily. So that'll do it for this first episode of Prototype to Powerhouse. This deck is pretty easy to actually bring up the power level on. It's already decently strong for my average playgroup composition, so I just have to kind of find the cards that give it I guess protection from colors would be a good thing to add. I have a couple ideas there, as well as just having a lot of, I guess, flash auras or flash enablers would be a good thing as well, if we can find a couple of those and put those in to have the response to the spells instead of doing it proactively. We can react instead, but yeah, having a little bit of reaction would be a good idea. So yeah, that'll do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are excited to see where this deck goes for the future of the year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. Consider subscribing. It does help grow the channel. We're almost at 300 subscribers. So thank you very much. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care until then, and have a good one.